but turning violet.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be actually transforming it into a character look and doing a tutorial on it. It's been a quick while on my channel since I've actually done a makeup video. I think it's been like a good couple of weeks, but today I'm going to sit down and do a tutorial for Violet Beauregarde. I don't know if I've said that right. The one who blows up on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and turns herself violet. Thank you so much all for 3,000 subs. I really appreciate it. And please drop down in the comments what you'd like to see. So obviously when I filmed my before of obviously my intro, I forgot to mention a few things. So this look would be great for like character looks, either Instagram, TikTok, which is what I mainly do it for. Either Halloween, a costume party. I'd love to go to a costume party and actually like have my makeup done like a character. It'd be like so fun. And obviously this is inspired by the 2007, the one with Johnny Depp in. I'm not sure what year it was, I'll put it up. Eliadis has also done this look, so massive shout out to her. Yeah, let's get straight on with it. If you want to find out how to create this look, then keep on watching. So I'm back, I've just tied my hair back and put my brows on, and I've actually used the P. Louise brow pencil for this in the lightest shade. I can't remember what it's actually called. Next I'm going to start off with my eyes. Obviously you always want to start off with your eyes before you ever do your base, just obviously fall out. So I'm going to be taking the P. Louise base in Rumour 02, and this is just a P. Louise brush. And what I like to do just to make sure I can get my base to work at the best of its ability is just put a bit on the back of my hand and then you use the brush that way, because like if I squirted it just straight on my lid, it'll probably go a bit patchy just because of the way the tube is. So I'm just going to do that and just pat it straight on my lid and start carving around my brows. Also, if you don't have an eye base, don't worry. I just used to use like a foundation or a concealer. They all work like just as well as each other, so honestly don't worry if you don't have an eye base, but I find these really useful for me. So next is eyeshadow, and I'm actually going to be taking the Stacey Marie Carnival palette once again. So first I'm going to take the shade Hall, and it's on this like dense but fluffy brush. So when I pack it on, the colour will pack on really nice, but the edges will be nice and soft, so it's easy to blend, if that makes sense, and you'll see what I mean. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start packing it on in like a circular moment. And with all your eyeshadows, you really want to go darkest to lightest for the best colour payoff. So I've gone a bit higher than my crease. Obviously when I look straight forward you can see that it's a bit higher up. This is because you don't really want your eyeshadows to be hidden, because what's the point in spending all that time just for them to be hidden? It may sound stupid, but what I love to do, and it's actually a really good trick that I picked up, is you want to lift your head up but keep your mirror down below, and you'll be able to tell if the two eyeshadow shapes are the same like shape, and it gets it really precise. So I'm going to take the shade Basic, and you know what, I relate to this shade on like so many levels. Yeah, and I'm just taking that on like a Revolution brush I got out of a Christmas set. And what I'm just going to do is do circular motions, but taking it 50% above and 50% on. Obviously you'll have heard me talk about this technique before. You know what, I'm finding it so hard not to bring the mirror so close to my face. It's just like a habit of mine that I always do. To be fair though, I'd really recommend this palette to whoever's either just starting off in makeup or actually been doing makeup for a while. I'm pretty sure it's got like 20 something shades, might be wrong, and then 3 highlighters. You really can't go wrong. So now it's time to cut the crease, and I've just already put my matte shades down. So now I'm going to be taking the Vivid Violet base from P. Louise. Of course I'm going to use this. I've never actually used this on a crease before. It's meant to make like your shadows pop more. Obviously I'm going to put a purple glitter over it anyway, so we're going to see how it works. And what I like to do is I just like to pat it on and then stamp the edges. So I like to pat it on. Oh, I went way too far. Now I've cleaned that up, I was going to go back to what I was saying, but I can't actually remember. So obviously you can do the Vaseline or like the wipe trick, and I'm going to try them out on my TikTok videos, so I'm leaving it till then. Keep an eye out. So to put on the crease, I'm going to be using Colour Mood pigment from Peaches Makeup, and it's like this gorgeous purple shade. I think it's from like a Galaxy collection if I'm right. I'm just going to take a flat brush like this and start packing it on. Honestly, pigments like this intense don't even need spraying. Like, look how beautiful that is. I think that base has really helped it, to be fair, even though it doesn't really look violet or purple on there. So obviously I kind of mentioned like a little tip there. When you get pigments, you can, or even shimmers in a palette for that sake, you can just spray it with a bit of setting spray and then they become really intense. Lastly, a very quick step for the eyes. What you want to just do is take the dark eyeshadow from before and just take the same brush and just gently pat over it This is honestly just such a quick step, but you want to make sure that obviously the crease and the shadows are blended together. Please make sure though that you don't go too heavy handed. Just start off light, and if you need to build it up, obviously just build it up as you go. So I'm back, my lashes are on and my full eye look is finished, and I'm going to start with the base, and I'm actually just going to take some moisturiser and just obviously just prep my skin. I'm not going to waste my time using primer because I literally have this look on for 2 minutes maybe. Take photos and then that's it, wipe it off. So I'd rather just keep my primer for times I actually need it. So I like to pat it into my skin just to make sure it's very moisturised and very hydrated really. So now I'm going to start off with my foundation. I'm going to be using the Revolution stick in the shade F4. I am really pale at the minute, but obviously once I blend it out and match it to my neck, it's like a perfect match. I'm just going to take this double-ended brush from Primark. I think it was literally like a pound or two maybe. And I'm just going to start buffing that into my skin. You want to make sure you get it right back to your hairline and towards your ear, even if you do have to like hold it back like I've just done. It probably looks so weird, but you want to make sure it does match correctly. And then what you want to do is just blend it like down to your neck, just like that. I'm actually feeling I'm looking a little bit light. I'm going to try and darken it up with like bronzer and stuff, but I don't know, this matched me not long ago and now it's just not at all. So next is concealer. I'm going to be taking the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate in the shade C4. And I like using this because obviously I have dry skin. This is actually really nice. I'm just going to pop that on my chin, keep it below my nose and under my eyes. Now I'm going to take this fluffy but flat top brush, and it looks like this. I found out that these are probably the best brushes to actually use to blend your concealer out. Obviously they can get in smaller areas and it's just a lot easier. I'm just going to buff that in. Obviously, as you can tell, there's a lot more coverage there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the foundation brush that I just had and just pat over the edges of it, just so there isn't a clear difference between your concealer and the foundation. Obviously now I'm going to set the face with some powder. I'm going to be taking the Rimmel Stay Matte powder, and I love using a powder that's actually quite close to my skin tone, just so I don't look like too white or washed out. So I'm just using a fluffy brush and I'm just going to tap that in and just pat that all over my face. So if you're wondering whether I bake or not, I do not. I just don't like it. I think it gives you a lot of flashback. It makes you look really white, and it's just not for me. It might just be the powder I use or the way I do it. And then I'm just going to do the forehead and we're done with that. So obviously, just because I do my makeup for TikTok and Instagram, I've got to make sure it's like full glam really. But if you don't want to do all these steps, this is just me basically adding like highlight, bronzer and stuff like that, then just skip it a bit and I'll show you how to do the nose bit and actually look like you're turning violet. So next I'm going to take my Mega Bronzer from Revolution in the shade 02 Warm, and I'm just going to take a fluffier brush actually, and this is just because I want it to look a bit more natural and I don't want to go too full out. So I'm just going to start off on the forehead and I'm just going to like swirl it, just kind of blend it in. Then I'm just going to go in the hollows of my cheeks. Obviously, as you'll know, all I use normally is like an angled brush, but angled brushes make it so much more precise and glam. That's why I'm using this, because I don't want it to look too precise. Obviously, Violet's a child in the movie. She's not going to wear like a full glam makeup. What I'm just going to do is just do my jawline too. I don't like to do too much of my jawline because it does look like you have a beard. So I actually have a new product. This is the She Glam blush and it's in the shade 204 Roman Holiday and it's a gorgeous pink colour and it looks like this. I'm going to take the P. Louise tapered brush. I actually haven't used this brush for blush before, so I hope this goes well. I'm just going to add a tiny bit on my cheeks just because obviously she's young. You want to make it look like she's kind of flushed, like bit younger. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking a tiny amount onto the brush, and then what I'm just doing is just tapping it and then like dusting it away, if that makes sense. So I just want to lightly tap it as I don't want my face to look like too pink. So next I've actually found a highlighter which I think that will complement this look quite a lot. So it's from the Be Perfect Sub-Zero palette and I'm going to mix together the shades and In Blankets. I'm going to take this brush from Superdrug, just the highlighter brush I always use. So I'm just going to pack that on the tops of my cheeks. Obviously I want to use this because it has like undertones of like blue and purple in it. I've actually hit pan though, so it's quite sad. I'll have to either buy more or find like a highlighter with the same shade. So if you know any highlighters that are like kind of the same shade as that, then please let me know in the comments. And I'm going to add some, just a tiny bit on my chin. I don't want to go like overboard. And on my Cupid's bow to make my lips look bigger. I usually add some on my nose, but I'm not going to bother just because I'm painting over it and then obviously putting shadow over it. But what I am going to do is take a pencil brush and do my inner corner and my brow bone. So to move on to the most important part, I'm going to be taking the P. Louise and the Mitchell collection Acid Rain in the shade Ibiza. And this is just going to be a base for my shadows, just to obviously make it pop more. And then I'll use my paints later. And I'm just going to take a fluffy brush like this, and I'm just going to start patting it like around my nose, and then like bring it down towards here. So obviously when she starts turning violet, it starts with a nose and then like branches out everywhere. Obviously right now this is just a standard purple, but we'll use shadows and other things to create depth. Obviously when she turned violet, it just wasn't one colour. There was many depths. It looked like she had veins coming out of it. So we'll try and make it as realistic as possible. So now I'm just going to take the P. Louise Secret Sinner palette, and I'm going to darken this up a bit with the shade Addicted, and it's this deep purple shade. Obviously it's the first shade in the palette. I'm just going to take it on a fluffy brush, and you want to make it sure it's like central, because as if it's like stalking out from the nose, if that makes sense, so it's most pale at the ends. Also, I'm so sorry about the faces I pull. I'm literally blind, so if you wonder why I pull the mirror so close to my face, it's because I can't see that far. I'm just going to keep blending that out till it's how I want it, really. So what I've just actually done on camera, you probably can or can't tell, I'm not too sure. I've just added some little shades of dark blue. I've just added, like, dotted them about a bit just so it doesn't look as perfect and it looks a bit messy. Like, she didn't turn violet perfect. It was a bit risky, that's why I did it off camera, and I thought I don't want you to see my reaction and be shocked if it didn't turn out right. But yeah, there's just that little quick step. So final steps on the nose, just to make it a bit more realistic, I'm going to take a dark blue paint, and what I'm just going to do is add a few little veins and lines. So I'm just going to take a small little detail brush and just start doing little random lines. And I've actually done these lines a little thicker, so I'm going to try and like thin them out a bit. And I'm going to do some literally on my nose here. I'm just holding it at the end of the brush, as you don't want to be too heavy handed, obviously just creating little messy marks. I'm going to add some up here too, so as if it's grown out that way, and if they get too harsh, just tap over them and they'll just like lightly fade like that, and that's what it looks like. So I just actually filmed putting on my lipstick, and I used the new She Glam lipstick in the shade Nude. Yeah, it's disappeared. So here's my lipstick, and that's like kind of the last step, and this is the lipstick I used. To be fair, at least it's just a simple step that went missing. So I'm gonna go do my hair and be back. I'm actually so glad I have a fringe right now because I don't have any wigs that actually matches violet. So gonna go sort my hair out and I'll be back to show the end result. So this is the end of the video and the end result, and this is what I look like. I've actually really enjoyed filming this character look, and if you'd like me to do more characters from anything really, I don't mind filming them from YouTube, so just comment down below if you'd like me to. Also, thank you so much again for 3k subs. Next goal is whatever, really, 5k maybe. Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe and tap the bell for notifications when I post. I try to post twice a week when I can. I hope you found this tutorial really helpful and you create this look yourself. If you recreate this look, feel free to tag me on it on Instagram and I'll make sure I look at it and obviously comment. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and bye. See you on the next one.